Well, good morning. I'm just out for a stroll this morning. I'll tell you more about that once I get away from this busy road junction. It's just gone 9 a.m, so although the children are at school, there's still a little bit of tail end traffic cutting through the village. If you're a regular visitor to my channel or a subscriber, thank you for supporting me and coming back. If you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this video and the channel's content. I'm into the walk now and I'm off the main road and cutting through the fields, so I thought I'd bring you back. Unfortunately, it's a bit noisy on the bridge at the bottom of my road at this time of the morning. I mean, the schools have just gone in and there's still a bit of traffic. The unfortunate thing is it's absolutely beautiful around here, but we are surrounded by motorways. We've got the M20 about 4 or 5 miles away. We've got the M25 the same distance. So if there's any problems on the M25 or any of the motorways, the sat-navs tend to redirect people through our village. If you go back sort of 20 years ago when sat-navs were major expensive and they weren't on the phone, we didn't have this problem, but it's technology and its advancement, I suppose. So hopefully now the rest of the walk going that way will be a lot more pleasant and a lot more quiet. So as I said, we're aiming for Dartford, and what I'll do, I'll bring you back for a chat en route. Without meaning to repeat myself, this is approximately a 4-mile walk into Dartford town, obviously 8 miles return. I'm not sure as yet whether I'll walk back or get a bus, but the bus will be novel because I don't think I've been on a bus for probably about 10 or 11 years now. The official path, Darenth Valley Path, is approximately 19 miles long. It starts in Sevenoaks in Kent and ends at Dartford Creek, where the creek joins the Thames. We won't be walking that section, we're just doing the 4 miles into the main town. I've not brought any food today. I didn't really fancy carrying a 35 litre pack. I've just got a rain jacket just in case. Fingers crossed I don't have to use that. And plenty of water. But what I probably will do is pop into Greg's in Dartford and get myself a roll, and then hop on the bus and look like an idiot trying to work out how you pay or whether you use your card or whatever. I'm sure I'll find out. Anyway, I'll carry on the walk. It's mainly fields now and it should be pretty quiet, maybe with a tiny bit of road walking. Can't be helped, but I'll bring you back when there's a point of interest like a turn or walking along the river or something very, very scenic. For now, I'll just show you some of the views around me as I cut along this public access path through the fields. The wind's picking up a bit now, which is actually quite welcome. It's actually, I think the top temperature today is forecast for 14 degrees. It's probably about 12 degrees at the moment, but as you can see, it's brilliant sunshine. I think it's going to rain later on in the afternoon, so hopefully I'll be well and truly back home by then, tucked up and viewing and editing this footage. Just give you a pan round the fields. Excuse the sunlight in a minute, I'm going to be facing straight into the sun. and coming up is the path I've come along, and you can see the Horton Kirby or South Darenth paper mill chimney in the distance there. So if ever I was lost around here, which I can't be really, I've lived here too long, that's what I aim for. Not easy at night, there's not a beacon on it. So from memory, the last time I walked this route was a Sunday. In the village I live in, or my village as I call it, we don't have a bus service on Sunday. It also finishes at 7 p.m. in the evening, I believe. Well, I don't use the buses, I believe that's round about the time it stops every night. And I am a martial arts instructor, and I had a Sunday class, had problems with my car on the Saturday, couldn't get no one to look at it, so what I did, I walked in the 4 miles on a Sunday, taught a 3-hour class, thought it would be clever to walk back. It was about 32 degrees, it was a lovely summer's day. I was in a vest top and I got absolutely eaten alive by mosquitoes or midges and completely sunburnt. I had no cream or nothing on me. It's just something I didn't think about when I was actually going to teach, because I was sweating from the teaching and wearing the absolute minimum of gym type clothing. So that's why I can remember it vividly. But as I said, I'm quite ashamed that it's taken all these years, probably 16, 17 years, to actually get round to walking this section again. We're out of the wooded area now and back on the path, and on the right we're passing some industrial units. Should clear them soon. I can hear quite a lot of road noise in the background, but it's all good. It was really nice in the woods. It was very, very muddy underfoot, so I had to be careful, but it was lovely to actually walk in close proximity to the river. In fact, I even stopped and was looking and listening to the water running for about 2 minutes. So it was very nice indeed. We've had some pretty abysmal weather over the last 2 weeks since I returned from my 5 days wild camping and hiking on Dartmoor, and indeed this has been probably the first opportunity to get out and do anything like a half decent walk without it pouring down the rain. Unfortunately, this camera I'm using here, my DJI Pocket 2, is not waterproof, so it's one of its limitations. Anyway, this is not exactly the most pretty bit to walk along. It's just a enclosed path with barbed wire on the left and a roadway on the left as well. So I'll get back to you when there's something a slight bit nicer to look at. Well, we've left that footpath now and all the noise of the industrial units behind, and we're now approaching Parsonage Lane. If you turn left here and walk down, it eventually leads down to the Hawley Road and main road crossing, which is the A225, which is the route in and out of Dartford. So I believe now what we have to do is cross the road here, continue on that narrow road straight ahead, and hopefully we'll get away from this noise. I must admit, autumn is my favourite time of the year, or favourite season. However, unfortunately, it's followed by winter, and it's far too short. I mean, you literally get about 3 weeks to a month window, and then everything is stripped bare and looking barren again. But the colours are absolutely amazing. That's again why I want to get out kayaking over the next couple of weeks, so I can see the autumnal colours on the river, the oranges, the browns and the greens. I think you can make out the path just winded its way along to the edge of those trees and bushes down in the centre of the camera. In the distance, not so far distance, you can hear the traffic from the M25. If I pan around again, there it is. I said never far away from a motorway. And on the tunnel bound section, I think that'll be going towards junction 2. It's absolute standstill. It's not called the biggest car park in Europe for no reason. I absolutely loathe that road. Right, onwards. Very nice open area here. I was going to say it'd be a good spot for a wild camp, but there is a couple of houses just to the side of it where I was standing a minute ago while I was filming or recording, and obviously you've got that horrendous noise from the road night and day. Even though it's quite noisy now, it is daytime, you sort of get used to it, but at night it will drive you absolutely insane. Sort of pitching up here and trying to sleep in a tent. Well, there's a little look back on the path I've travelled. You can still hear the M25 in the background, or it's actually to the right of me. We'll actually be going under the M25 shortly, and then hopefully get a little bit of peace and quiet as we head more towards Dartford. We've got Brooklyn Lakes to look forward to, which is just on the tip of the main town. It's really surprising to have such lovely lakes and wildlife, literally an absolute stone's throw from the main high street. It's yeah, pretty special. I've never filmed Brooklyn Lakes. Probably the last time I visited that would have been about 3 years ago, and I was going through a little stage of where I was more into still photography than cinematography or videography. It was more using my drone and stills at the time. I've come to a junction now, and what we're supposed to do here for the Darenth Valley Path is turn right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn left because I believe there's two just lovely little bridges over the River Darent just round to the left, and then there's some open fields. So what I'll do, I'll just take a walk around there, then I'll double back. Once we turn right, we'll be going under the M25 bridge, so I might start singing because there'll be a lovely echo. Better than hearing that traffic. Well, maybe not. There you go. There's the River Darent running downstream towards Dartford, and on through Dartford Creek down to the River Thames. There's another little bridge in front, so let's go and take a look at that one. This brings back memories, this walk. It's really nice. It's a lovely day as well. It's a nice breeze. I hope it's not interfering with the audio too much. And again, obviously the Darent forked off slightly, and then it meets up again, so it just goes round a little area of land mass and then meets up back into one river. Very shallow, very narrow at this section. Just taking a little walk on into these fields. As I said, it is such a shame about that motorway noise. I mean, yes, there's houses in the distance, but you could really discreetly tuck yourself away here, especially with my the colour of my backpacking tents. Oh well, that's life. Onward and upwards, so now we're aiming back over the two bridges. Hello, I slipped and nearly went over then. I nearly said something rude then, but I just pulled back. We're back on the original path, Darenth Valley Path, and you probably can see it in front. That's the A225 bridge we're passing under, and we're following along with the main river. Don't you just love a bit of graffiti? Some people call it art, I call it vandalism. I just passed a humongous amount of litter. I think it's literally been blown or thrown off the bridge. I don't think it's been thrown down by people on this path. But a real eyesore. So there you go, we're now ducks in flight, I think we missed that. Following the river path in towards Dartford. Can hear a lot more traffic noise now. And once we get to Brooklyn Lakes, we've got Prince's Road, which is a very large main road leading through, well, on the outskirts of Dartford. It leads right up to the Blue Star roundabout up near the M25. There you go, sirens. Reminds me of working in London. It's all I used to hear all day. Want so much ice cream at that speed. Coming up to a little bridge across the river. And I'm not sure, but I think we might be going into open fields again in a moment for a bit. I think to the right of me, through dense bushes, I saw what's called the Quester Estate, which is like an industrial estate, again on the outskirts of Dartford. I recognise it by the buildings, so we're quite near the lakes now. I'm coming to the end of this enclosed path now, and I think I've got to turn right onto the Hawley Road, which is the A225, so it's going to be very noisy from here on. What I'll do, I'll just film a tiny bit of this and then I'll bring you back when we get somewhere a bit quieter. It's just a quick look back because I went slightly wrong. I was walking down the Hawley Road 225 and I've got a Garmin E-Trex 32X on me. Shouldn't really need it for this, but I'm trying to get used to the thing, so I may as well use it on more familiar ground rather than like when I was out on Dartmoor the other week, although that was not difficult. So this is looking back along the path, and if you follow this path down and then you literally cut through into a recycling lay-by off the 225. I made the mistake coming through and going across this field to absolutely nowhere because it was so near the turning point, which is actually the same field, it just follows the edge, which is just to the left here. There's an absolutely wonderful little bridge up here, so we'll just walk up here, and obviously what do gates mean? Lock gates, they mean no entry. So obviously the path's not that way. So we'll just come up here and have a little look up and down the river. If it weren't for the traffic noise, and beautiful views. Well, there's the river going upstream towards South Darenth, or Sutton at Home and South Darenth now. Fields ahead, private. And there you go, downstream towards Dartford. I think I could do with getting this gillet off. Very, very warm at the moment. Yeah, seriously sweating. I need the hat because of the sun. I burn very easily, and obviously the lack of hair, it makes it 100 times worse. Right, let's crack on. Absolutely lovely breeze straight in my face, just what I need. Right, so I'm back off the bridge and we turn right here. To be honest, I wasn't far wrong when I made a comment a little while ago that I cut across the wrong field. I was just on the wrong side of it. I was literally about 60 metres off track, so maybe if I'd enlarged the map on the Garmin, it might have been a little bit better for me. But I'm trying to look at it, still giving me, when I do, I'm only getting it out of my pocket every so often. I've not got it actually attached to me. The clip doesn't fit on this backpack, it fits on my larger one. But so I'm trying to sort of think ahead, so you know, but in that case it didn't quite work out until I took a wrong turn. Then I went back onto the main road and walked down a bit, and then it took me off track, showed me I was off track, and then I doubled back and had the common sense to then or the sense to enlarge the map to find the correct route. The path is now quite well waymarked with the little Darenth Valley Path circular badges on the posts. It just seems a shame that the signs seem to be a little bit hidden. It's certainly hidden when I came off the main road. It got slightly confusing there. Part of the reason why I'm actually filming this, I'm trying to get a bit more detail than just walking this section. I'm trying to give you the route as best I can, and also obviously, as I said, made a couple of mistakes. I point them out because I'm sure other people will make exactly the same mistakes at the same points that I'm doing it. Well, cracking on. It's lovely when I get out the sun, and then you can, as you can probably hear, you can hear the wind blowing through the trees here. It's a very pretty walk. I mean, can't do a lot about the roads. They're not going anywhere now. I must admit, although this is not far from home, I mean, we're probably now 2.5, about a part of 3 miles into the walk now, maybe another mile to do. I've seen some absolutely stunning potential wild camping spots, but the roads, it's just crisscrossed by the A225, which is obviously the A road out of Dartford back towards my village, and the M25 and the A2 down this section. So I just couldn't handle that. It's just you may as well just go and camp out in the middle of the M25 reservation. We're now approaching another nice little wooden bridge over the river, so I suppose the river must branch off here then, because I can see it directly in front of me. I will soon see. No, it doesn't. I suppose it's just if there's heavy rainfall, there's going to be a large amount of water coming underneath this bridge, because it's in a dip. when I do get to Brooklands Lakes, I'm definitely going to stop. I haven't even stopped for water yet, just get this rucksack off for 5 minutes. But my back is, I know it's wet, it's seriously wet. I'm feeling too lazy to be bothered to take the backpack off and the gillet, but I'll do so when I reach Brooklands Lakes. Well, I've stopped for a very quick break. I was going to stop further back in one of the fields when the sun was out, but I've forgotten my kneeling or sitting mat, and the grass is still quite wet and damp, so I didn't particularly want to get wet bum and then a wet back from sweating. Not too far to go now, but still a bit of filming to do because we haven't even reached Brooklands Lakes yet, so been quite a while on the trail. But in all fairness, there's anybody that records and produces videos, be it YouTube or anything else like that, you'll know that when you're recording solo, it's not just a matter of what the viewer is seeing is a continuation of filming or recording, you know, walking on. But when you're doing these walk through or walk to type of shots, you're actually placing the camera down, setting the camera up, doing your recording, and then you're having to walk back, etc, etc. So it does take a considerable amount of time to film anything. I'm sure I know other YouTube creators will completely understand, and many viewers do. I've had a few comments lately on the not just the content but the production, and I've actually been a few people have commented on videos saying that they really appreciate the hard work I'm putting into my videos, and I can't thank them enough for that. That really encourages me to go out and make more videos, so thank you. Subscriber rate's gone right up of recent. It's leveled off a bit now, I mean, but when I put my Dartmoor videos up the other week, it was picking up steadily. I'm still a small-time YouTube creator, but I'm not in a race, and I'm not after making any money out of it. This is purely me enjoying myself out, recording it and sharing it from you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you can always move on. There's plenty of other stuff on YouTube. Anyway, I'm gonna have a few more mouthfuls, check my battery life on my wireless mic and the Pocket 2, and then I'm gonna crack on towards the town. I'm now approaching Powder Mill Lane, and there's a marker for the path. There's a little Dartford boy. There's a marker for the path saying turn left, so I'm now walking just a little bit down Powder Mill, and then I'll be turning right into the lakes. I have a correction. Earlier on I said I was at the side of Questa, which is an industrial estate. I wasn't. I think what it was, I was looking through the thick hedgerow and I see some buildings that look more or less identical, so I just assumed I was that far down. I was obviously a bit disorientated. And I've just gone off track a little bit. That was because I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to record and I was being stared at by a couple of people. One of the things you do find if you come across people when you're out filming is sometimes you get stared at like you're some sort of weirdo. But however, I'm continuing down here because I do know that there's another way into the lakes on the right. It's where I parked up a few years ago when I came down to take some photographs. Well, I've just turned right and I'm now heading into Brookland Lakes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the middle path, which I believe is down here, so it cuts right through the lakes. Don't want to annoy the fishermen, so at times I may just stop recording. Let's just take a gander down here. Still muddy, all that rain we've had, and it's nicely shaded. Oh, very peaceful, absolutely lovely here. I didn't want to make too much noise when I was by the edge of the lake there, because there was a fisherman about 3 meters further along fishing out of his bivvy. You tend to get quite a lot of guys and girls fishing along this section. This is like cutting through the middle of the lakes. Although I actually prefer cutting through than going completely round. You tend to, if you're going to see anything, you see it on this path. But it is getting considerably busier now. At the sign, I've turned right. I don't even recognise this now. This is completely new to me. The Burrows and Wellcome, as it was called many years ago, a big pharmaceutical company, which then changed to Glaxo Wellcome, then the Wellcome Foundation, then SmithKline, and whatever. They just went on and on over the years, but it was a club for members and their family, and it was an amazing club. And I was fortunate enough to remember the good days. I didn't work there, but I used to train when I was a student back in the mid-80s. I used to train at a venue within the actual grounds, which actually over time allowed me membership, and I had some great days. Cheap bar, really friendly, really fun. My children, when they were younger, loved going there. Dirt cheap. Oh, it's beautiful and sunny. Quite busy in the park. A bit surprised for a Monday afternoon. It's only about 1 PM. There you go. It looks absolutely amazing, this park now, and I haven't been here for years. Not even sure where I am in relation to the actual town, to be honest. Well, I'm in Central Park and I'm going to end the video here. The park's got extremely busy, so it's becoming very difficult to record, getting stared at a lot. The other side of it is that the next bus, which is in about 15 minutes, that goes back to my village, it terminates in my village and turns round, is the last hourly bus. The next one is an hour and a half after, so other than that I'd have to either walk back the 4 or 5 miles or get a taxi. So I'm going to get my skates on, get the camera packed away and get the bus home. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Right, I'm off. See you on the next one. Bye for now.